Well, this morning, the nation's first ever law protecting free-range parents from prosecution takes effect in the state of Utah. It allows parents to let their kids do more on their own without fear of being penalized for child neglect. But could this do more harm than good? Here to debate it, parenting experts Emma Johnson, who is for this free-range parenting law, and Daniel Patterson. He's the author of the forthcoming book, The Assertive Parent. So we know where you stand. All right, so let's start. Emma, we'll start with you. Tell us what free-range parenting is.
Free-range parenting is simply parenting how children have been raised since the beginning of time, where they're allowed to be out of sight of an adult and learn and grow as young people.
All right, so you're for it. Why are you for it?
Because this is what is best for kids. There's hundreds and hundreds of studies that show that free play, free exploration, being out of sight of parental supervision is not only safe, but it's also what is best for child development.
All right, Daniel, what are your thoughts?
I mean, I appreciate the foundation of why people think free-range parenting is solid choice, but really, I think it's an over-romanticized view and something that can't really be supported. And I think it's trying to take us back in time, have a shared experience, but we can't go back in time. It's 2018. It's a different age and stage of our world and our country, and it's really not, the cost-benefit isn't there. I think the risk that it takes doesn't support basically the return on that investment of free choice.
Yeah, Emma brings up a good point, because when we were growing up, you could walk to school, walk home, might have been a mile. Parents, you'd leave at, on the weekends, you'd leave at 8 in the morning, you'd go out and play in the woods, and you wouldn't come back until it was dark. But we are in a different time. Don't you worry about the safety of our children?
No, actually today we are living in a time when it is safer than it has been since 1963, when gas was 29 cents to gallon. This is the safest time to be raising children by every metric. Violent crime is down, abduction is down, disease is down. It is actually safe. And just because there's sensationalist 24/7 media, whether it's cable news or social media, that perception does not equal reality. In fact, there's some very interesting studies that show that children who are helicoptered, who are overparented, are actually more susceptible to predators because they've never learned to have their wits about them. They are more vulnerable.
That's interesting. Daniel, you wrote the book, The Assertive Parent. Do you agree with that? Helicopter parenting, is it putting our kids more in danger?
Well, I think parenting in any extreme is not a place where I like to land as a parent. I think, why do we have to classify a helicopter parent or a free-range parent? I think meeting in the middle as a parent and being an assertive parent is what you need to do, and look at the optics of your family. Certainly, if you have a relationship and you trust your child and you can send them out to the grocery store, if that works for your family, that's fine. What my concern is passing legislation and taking government time to rework the semantics of a law, when we should be focusing on education, reform, teacher pay, and other things that will have a larger return on the investment for that time.
This just allows parents to have more flexibility. You're not going to get in trouble if you do allow your kid to go to the grocery store, and ultimately it is the parent's decision. Next topic is everyone at this one school in New Jersey. A mom complained because her kid didn't make the cheerleading team, so now all the kids are going to make the cheerleading team. What are your thoughts? Daniel, I'll start with you on this one.
Well, as a former high school administrator at a school that had its fair share of national headlines, I would say there's probably more to the story than we know from the headline. But it reaches a point where, is it worth it? Is it worth dealing with the fallout of high-maintenance students or high-maintenance parents? And is the program, the amount of energy and money that you're putting into that, worth it? So I think I don't really like I think it could be an overcorrection. Everyone gets a trophy. I'm not really in line with that type of thinking or reaction. But again, we don't know what's gone on in the years leading up to this decision.
All right, Emma, last word.
It's lazy. It's lazy parenting, and it's lazy school administration. I understand that parents and kids can be difficult, but this is about teaching kids and preparing them for the real world. And in the real world, not everybody makes the cheer squad.